Hi everyone, this is JCruz, and this is my final presentation for the historical novel, which I chose to do a family cookbook. So starting with my preliminary work, I had a family reunion in September, which inspired the cookbook idea. So these are some photos taken there that I thought I could use throughout my project. Then I started gathering typography and layout samples. I found examples of not only family cookbooks, but also cookbooks in general that had a style and look that I was going for. Then I looked for color palettes and came up with some keywords that I could focus on while designing. Then I started gathering imagery, mostly public domain, but I also have a lot of private photos of family that I use throughout my project. Then I started brainstorming, coming up with the different chapters. I think the requirement was 5 chapters. I ended up with 6, and also started brainstorming other content I would include. And then I started sketching ideas for headers, typefaces, and layouts for my recipe pages. I was going to incorporate some drawings and doodles throughout the book, but I ended up not going forward with that idea. And then these are the recipes that I had gathered so far. Then I started in InDesign. I decided to do a fixed layout EPUB because with all the imagery and typography design, I didn't want things moving depending on the device and the screen orientation. And this is an 8.5 by 11 document. So here's my cover. Also, the feedback was really helpful for my cover. I ended up with ditching the more modern look and adding some old family photos on the cover, and I think it definitely added some warmth. As you can see, I've used consistent fonts throughout my project. I depended on character styles and paragraph styles for that. It was very helpful. And I also used hyperlinks throughout my document. As you can see here, all the different hyperlinks and the character styles and paragraph styles that are incorporated throughout my book. It made formatting very easy and definitely added consistency that I couldn't have achieved without it. I also hoped to include imagery on at least every other page so I at least had an image per spread, but it did take a lot of time. So for now, I just have imagery kind of sporadically throughout. Again, some public domain photography as well as family photos. So I'll skip to the end, show my back cover there, as well as an index with hyperlinks. So we'll go to my final document in iBooks. And you can see it open into that first spread. My hyperlinks seem to be working. The one thing I wished is that I would have incorporated a button or some way to go back to the beginning or at least back to the table of contents easily, and I will incorporate that later. I really ran out of time, but we'll definitely add more to this to be able to give to my family. I also decided to do a fixed layout so I could it was a document that could be printed later. It's just a sampling. I won't go through the entire book, but I did want to show the index and how the hyperlinks worked there. So that's my cookbook, and I also wanted to show you what it looked like on my iPhone. So give me 1 second to see if I can get that to work. Okay, so you can see it show up there in iBooks on my iPhone. And again, I have to scroll back to the beginning, which is annoying. That's definitely something I would fix for my final. Okay, sorry about that. So here's my cover. And you can see in the screen rotation, it enables the spreads. And also I realize it might be hard for people to read with the types, so and with a fixed layout, you have to pinch and zoom, which I think is effective, and it's nice to still be able to keep that design, but to make bigger if necessary. And you can see my hyperlinks working there. So that is my final project, or sorry, my final project number 3, and I look forward to seeing all of your work. Thank you.